All right, today we're going on a pretty incredible journey. We're heading to a place you see every single day but have never actually visited. Inside you. We are about to shrink down and explore the tiny, tiny building blocks that make you, well, you. But here's a question for you. If we could take a tour to one of the farthest, deepest points inside your own body, where do you think we'd end up? Let's not guess. Let's find out. Okay, here we go. We're shrinking down, and fast. The world around us is getting bigger and bigger as we dive deep into the impossibly complex landscape of the human body. Whoa, we are flying right past structures you'd probably recognize from a science class. There's the powerful beat of the heart, the massive network of the lungs. This is the big machinery of the body. But we're going even deeper. And now we're pushing through these dense, fibrous layers of tissue, the stuff that connects everything together. The world we know is gone, and it's being replaced by this strange, abstract landscape. We're almost there. And here we are. We have officially arrived in the microscopic world of a single human cell. Welcome. So this is it, this cell. It might not look like a whole lot at first glance, but this little bubble is the basic building block of all life. And in a very real way, your entire story started right here. Think about that for a second. Every living thing on Earth, from the smallest insect to the biggest whale, and yes, you, started out as just one of these. This tiny little thing is the original blueprint for all life as we know it. So let's start our tour on the outside. This squishy outer layer is the cell membrane. You can think of it just like your own skin, but it's also a super smart gatekeeper, kind of like a bouncer, deciding what gets to come in and what has to stay out. All right, let's head inside to meet one of the most famous parts of the cell. If we're thinking of the cell as a tiny city, then this next part is the power plant. Let's say hello to the mitochondria. So how does this power plant even work? Well, it's actually an amazing process. It all starts when you eat food and take a breath. The mitochondria grab the nutrients from your food and the oxygen from the air, and they smash them together to create pure energy for the cell. It's what powers everything. Now, any good city needs two things: a city hall to give out the orders and a construction crew to do all the building and repairs. Well, in the cell, those jobs belong to the nucleus and the ribosomes. Okay, we've made it to the command center. The nucleus. This is the brain of the operation, the undisputed boss. And inside, it's protecting the most important thing in the whole cell, the chromosomes. These are the master blueprints with all the instructions for everything the cell will ever do. So, if the nucleus has the blueprints, who does the actual work? That would be the ribosomes. These guys are the cell's tireless construction crew. Their only job is to follow the instructions from the nucleus and build proteins, which are used for basically everything, from fixing damage to making things happen. Okay, so what about the rest of the cell? What's all of this space in between? And what happens with all the trash? That's where the cytoplasm and the lysosomes come into play. See all this jelly-like stuff that everything's floating around in? That's the cytoplasm. It's mostly water, and it just fills up the whole cell, giving all the parts a nice, stable environment to float around in and do their jobs. Now, any busy city produces a lot of trash, and a cell is no different. So how does it take out the garbage? It's got something called a lysosome. This is the cell's own little recycling center. It breaks down all the waste and old parts so they can be used again. Pretty smart, huh? Okay, before we wrap up our tour and head back to the big world, I've got a couple of surprising facts for you. It's trivia time. First, a little history. This entire hidden world we've been exploring, it was first discovered way back in the 17th century by a scientist named Robert Hooke. But okay, here's the one that's really going to blow your mind. You are not entirely human. In fact, you have more bacteria cells in your body than human cells. Yeah, let's just look at the numbers for a second. Scientists figure you're made of about 30 trillion of your own human cells. But living on and inside of you are around 39 trillion bacteria cells. By sheer numbers, there's more of them than there is of you. And with that, kind of startling thought, our tour is coming to a close. It's time to zoom back out, leaving the microscopic world of the cell and returning to our own familiar world. So we'll leave you with this one last, kind of strange question to think about. If you are, by cell count, more bacteria than human. Who are you really?